Welcome back to another episode of Love Money Couplepreneurs podcast. I am your host, Charles Orr, and my beautiful co-host, my wife, Jazmine Orr.
Hey.
How you doing today, beautiful?
I'm doing good, baby. Good
I like
to see
the yellow on you.
Thank you. I like what's popping off of you, too.
Okay, you like my hair? Can't
It's
see
all
it.
right.
All right.
It's okay.
We'll work on it for next time.
We gonna work on that. Without further ado, I have to introduce our friends and the real estate gurus of Henderson, by the way. Okay. Jameen and Nicci Willis. Jameen is the founder of Lavender Homes, a residential investment firm helping clients build generational wealth through strategic property acquisition with over 28 years in the industry. He's also a mindset coach and the author of the upcoming book, Mind Rehab. And then my girl, Nicci, she's a licensed realtor, the author of Before You Buy, Read This, and the reigning Mrs. Silver State 2025. Her YouTube series, New House on the Block, gives buyers an exclusive look at Las Vegas's hottest new construction homes. Together, they've co-founded Black Henderson, a nonprofit serving over 3,500 Black residents and business owners through advocacy, cultural celebration, and economic development. They're not just building business, they are for sure building legacy. Welcome to the show, my beautiful
Welcome.
Welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Yes.
The Willis Team.
Yes. Okay. So these are our friends in real life.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Let's talk about it. So what we always do is we say how we met. And so we were kind of discussing that. I feel like it's twofold. So I guess Jameen and Charles, they met first, and maybe you guys can pick it up.
Oh, well, you had posted something about meeting at a cigar spot with some guys. And I think around that time I was looking to kind of like meet some new guys.
Yeah.
So when I saw that, I'm like, oh, this is dope. I'm actually going to go and pull up and see what they got going on. And we met there, kind of, chopped it up. And then I think that's when you told me that y'all had the Black Henderson thing that was going on. Yeah.
And then Jameen was like, hey, I remember getting a DM. I remember that.
Okay.
On the Create Me side.
Okay.
And he was like, hey, we need some help and we need to get some things coordinated.
Yeah.
And since then, you guys are celebrating what this year for Black Henderson Family
Year
Reunion?
5.
Year
Year five
five.
of their
Year
flagship event, and y'all, it just grows and goes crazy every single year.
Yeah.
But we were able to be a part of some of those earlier events, and just to see
Yeah.
it blossom. Y'all are amazing.
Aw,
Yeah,
thank
shout out to
you.
Henderson.
Since the early years of the Black Henderson.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
y'all are like,
Yeah.
y'all, we call y'all Black Henderson OGs.
Okay.
Y'all
OGs.
That is
Okay.
Listen, so I want to jump into what you all do. Nicci has her book here, so let's start there. Let's start.
Start
I mean,
with
can we show it to the camera?
Yes. Okay. So before you buy, read this.
Okay.
We've helped hundreds of clients,
Yes.
buy their homes. We specialize in first-time home buyers.
Okay.
And, it's interesting because a lot of people have similar questions.
Yeah.
They have similar experiences. They go through, similar ups and downs and challenges. And so what I did was I said, you know what, let me put a little book together.
I love it.
With my tone of voice.
Yeah.
That's kind of like, okay,
There you
come
go.
on,
Like
friend, let's sit
Nicci's talking to me.
Sit down, friend. Let me tell you a little something.
Okay.
So it's got that, it's got that tone, and it's a super easy read. But it starts off with working with your mindset first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's
the mindset.
actually
That's
one of the
important.
biggest hurdles
Yeah. Okay.
that most people go through is getting their mindset together.
Yeah.
For becoming a homeowner.
We
and so,
experienced that.
Yeah, and even even before you become a buyer, getting your mindset right is key. Then we talk about the preparation,
Okay.
and then it going into the home buying process.
Got
So
you.
super easy read, but as I'm selling more books and more and more people are reading,
Yeah.
they're like, man, you know what? I should have got this
wish I
first.
had
wish
this.
I had
Right,
this. Yeah. And it's really helping a lot of people with their home buying process. That's why I tell people, if you're going to spend $250,000 in some places here in Las Vegas, $500,000.
$500,000.
Yes, I said take the small step first.
Yeah.
Get this book. It comes with a whole bunch of resources. I've got
nice.
calculators, saving things and
Okay.
all kinds of different resources. Get this first. Read it first,
Before you buy.
Before you buy.
I love the
Read
title.
Read this.
Read this, okay?
So yeah,
And
that's my book.
Jameen, talk to us about what you got going on.
So it's been a long time coming. So my first book is going to be called Mind Rehab.
Okay.
And so I show you how just the process of renovating a house, it works the same way with the process of renewing your mind.
Come on now, look at you.
Explain that a little bit more, because I am interested in finding out more about the mind rehab.
So the mind rehab process is basically a personal development book.
Okay.
And so as especially with a lot of men, a lot of times when we become adults, we focus on our roles, we focus on our responsibilities, and a lot of times we forget to dream. Yes. Sometimes we get realistic about life and we don't revisit what you really wanted to do. And so the mind rehab process helps you kind of rediscover what you really want to do, and also it helps you develop yourself. You know what I mean? A lot of times you can get so caught up on being your role, your responsibilities, and that's not necessarily the real you. And so the mind rehab process teaches you, just like when you renovate a house, there's some things that don't work anymore or are outdated, and some things you have to update and renovate in your life, just like when you renovate a house, and it shows you how to do that.
Love that.
Yeah.
I love that. And it's definitely needed for men, because I know I talk and deal with a lot of men, and that's kind of like my passion too as well, is wanting to do something working with men. But a lot of men that I talk to, they really are unhappy. Yes. And they really don't know why they're unhappy. And I even found myself, times back where I kind of felt like down in a slump, and I'm like, what is it about me? And then I started going back to, like you saying, reflecting when I was younger. I had friends. I liked to socialize. I liked the camaraderie of being around other men and socializing with them. And I was like, dang, maybe that's what I'm missing. Maybe I'm missing that connection to being around other men and kind of having somebody to kind of work and build with. Like you're saying, just kind of rehabbing your mind, kind of getting rid of, because at certain points in life, as a man, when you have a family, you kind of shift from what it was when you was younger, kind of running around and just having fun. Because now you got responsibility. So you get caught up in, like you're saying, your roles, your titles, your responsibilities, and that's kind of all you focus on. But then after a while, that kind of fades, because now your kids are going off. They graduate, they about to be up out of the house. You done kind of found success in whatever area of business or your career, and you've been doing that for a while. So it's kind of like, where do you find the kind of the fun, interesting side of the stuff that make you want to get up and don't mind, going to work and coming home and having that personal time. So no, it's definitely needed, and I will be getting that book when you
appreciate it. Yeah. So it's just time to really focus on yourself. And with the book, it also teaches you and motivates you on really focusing on yourself. But just like a house, people use a house, people live in the house. It's a functionality to it. Yeah. But then you look, and the house is run down, it's outdated. So it's the same thing about yourself. You got to really look at the condition of yourself and say, wait a minute, who am I really? Like, I got these roles, I got these responsibilities, but what's my foundation?
Yes.
What's my framework? And sometimes you get lost in that, and you need a little renovation project going on. And so that's what the mind rehab process helps you do. And I have a passion for men. We share a lot of the same passions, and hopefully we can continue to grow and, build and do things together. But this has been a long time coming. And so for me to roll out this book is me putting myself first and placing myself in priority and focusing on myself.
Okay. And that's what I've been trying to, like, with this, he's been talking about the mind rehab process and the idea of, mind rehab since we've been married, since we've been together. We've been together 18 years. We've been married almost 17. We're like weeks apart.
Right.
Us and you guys.
OG.
Yeah.
OGs.
But OG. Literally.
In this day and age.
Oh, yeah.
But, it's been, I think, as his wife and just as a wife in general, like remembering that for myself, but also for my husband, before he was my husband, before he was a father, before I was a wife, before I was a mother.
You better say
I was Nicci. I am Nicci. He is Jameen. And realizing that as his wife is and encouraging him to, okay, go off and write this. Yeah. You've gone through these experiences, journal this, like encouraging him to get this book out because
you
the
didn't
world
go through that
needs
for
it.
nothing.
Yes.
Other men need it.
The
And I
world
think
needs it.
women have the encouragement, the resources, the empowerment accessible to us.
Yes.
And men do
Men
not.
don't.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
like you get so caught up in, well, what is this role? What did I think this role was? So I'm going to behave like that.
Right.
Right.
I've looked at him and said, are you okay? Like,
Right.
what do you need to be doing?
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
I don't know where it came from, but the second I became a wife and a mother, I said, Jazmine first.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
always,
Because you
like,
can't
I
pour from
never
an empty
lost
cup.
that.
Yeah.
I don't know how because I've seen women who have lost that, and I'm like, I always understood.
Yeah.
I always had such a deep appreciation and self-love for myself
Yeah.
that I was like, I'm never going to not do for y'all.
Right.
But
right.
I got to do for me.
Have
Yeah.
to.
Because I know I'm a nurturer. I'm going to be your wife. I'm going to be a good mom.
Right.
Yes,
Absolutely.
it's crazy. And I'm glad you're doing that because the men absolutely need it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's absolutely
beautiful.
needed. So I'm going from the book. We're doing group coaching right now. I'm doing individual coaching. So I'm trying to help as many men as possible to focus on personal development because that's what happens. You always think in this society, in this culture, happy wife, happy life. So it's like, oh, I'll do this for me later. Oh, I'll buy this for me later.
Always putting
I'll focus
yourself
on
on the
my
back
dreams
end.
later
Yeah.
on.
Always.
And then you look up, then all this time has passed, opportunities have passed, and then it's like, okay, now what? You know, and that's why you got the dude sitting in the chair with the remote in his hand, and he don't really,
Right.
he don't
Yeah.
really say much. Like,
'Cause his wife
that
is
can't be my
outside.
life. Yeah, yeah, right.
Yeah,
And that's
we're
the
gonna
thing.
make sure
Yeah.
we get community
Yeah.
and,
Yes.
and connection and things like that.
Yes.
And,
Yeah.
and guys don't necessarily get that encouragement to do that.
Because I
We
think
don't.
when men are younger, they see the camaraderie of men that leads to the downfall of a relationship. When you see groups of younger men together, they're engaging in dealing with women,
they going to the club, they
infidelity,
doing-
they
yeah.
spending
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
So that doesn't look like what we've been conditioned to think what a healthy husband is, right? But men still, I'm not saying engage in those activities because obviously that's not conducive to a healthy marriage, but men should be able to be together and have that time apart. I can't tell you how many times me and Trey have invited couples out and he'll go from the men angle, right? And he's like, hey, can you? And they're all like, well, let me check with my wife and let me. But women, if she want to go, ain't no check. Let me
Gone.
tell
Ain't no
Trey
checking.
it's Saturday.
Hey, no, let me check my
Yeah,
schedule.
you know,
like-
but men don't, and it's weird
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they are the authority figure. They are the leader, but they will not.
Yeah. Well, listen, as the COO of the household, listen, because I'm running about 6, 7, 8 different calendars.
Yeah, me too.
So
me too.
it is probably best that you
That you run it by me.
yeah, that you run about me. That you run about me first, and then that way, you know, we can
I'll let
definitely
you
get
know
it. Yeah, that way we can
If
definitely
it's,
get it done.
if it's a for sure thing.
But yeah, you're absolutely right though. Like it's just, you know, we do that easily as women,
Easily.
and men are not encouraged as much to do that. So I'm loving what I'm seeing. In more of my friend groups where the
Yeah.
guys are getting together
yeah.
and just being men, you know, I always like to say, like, I have to go out and just be Nicci, not mom, not wife,
Right.
just Nicci. So if that's, you know, I like to garden, I like to, you know, just
Yeah.
do different things.
Yeah.
That's my me time.
That's
and
how you
guys need
feel
that
yourself.
too.
Yeah, they do.
Guys
Yeah.
need that too.
Yeah.
They do.
Our husbands need that so that y'all can be 100%, you know,
Okay.
when you come home.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was about to get to that point, like you saying with the foundation being run down. Like when you find yourself run down, low energy, then you're not productive and good to nobody. So
Absolutely,
even in
yeah.
your other
Exactly.
roles, you can't show up 100%. You can't give your wife what she needs. You can't give your children what they need.
Yeah.
You know, you can't be a friend. So it's definitely good, like you're saying, to be able to refocus. Another thing I always been trying to get myself into doing more is like pampering myself, like doing the little spa days. I was literally.
I'm like,
This is why my hair wasn't
sign up
right
for
because I was
that.
trying to go
Yeah.
and get a hair spa, get them to wash my hair today, but they
Yeah.
couldn't get me in
Massage.
in
Oh, you
time.
wanted the
Yeah, I
like
wanted the
I
whole
told him,
little
he
pampering.
enjoys massages
Yeah. I
in
do.
general.
where
Like,
he goes like
go.
massages.
I
I'm
do.
like,
Now
go
I
get your
do.
go get a pedicure.
But
Like,
see,
Yeah.
men will do those things alone where women will encourage each other, like, girl, let's go have a spa
We
day.
gonna have a
Like,
whole
men
day.
can do that too. You ain't got to do a couple couples massage, but like in the communal areas where you guys can get together, chill, and like
you might need to do that. Man.
It's in the works. It's in the works. I got some things in the works.
Got some things
coming.
In the works.
Yeah, do it.
Men spa
So
day.
y'all mess around with me, be like, hey.
Because hold on, don't you beside yourself.
Nah,
You on the list too?
Okay, right. Then we all going.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
So-
No, we won't. We ain't gonna mess with y'all. We'll be at a
Yeah.
different spot.
Good.
But no, I think these new ventures are definitely needed. I appreciate that you guys have stepped into authorship and that you guys are presenting people with the resources that they need. But I really want to go into what really made the staple of you guys as you landed in Vegas from Ohio, okay? But like you guys came in and let's talk about Henderson because Henderson is not known for community for Black people. And it's always been a very nice part of town, but we've all kind of looked at it like the area where it ain't none of us, so we really can't go over there.
Yeah.
And I know that as us being here now, 11
11
years.
yeah.
You know, Henderson was like, we gonna go over there, we gonna shop, we gonna eat, but we didn't know that there was community there, which was important. You know, we love diversity, of course, but we still wanted to be somewhere where we weren't totally the only ones.
Yeah.
And
Right.
so when you guys began the community and you guys were so intentional in doing so and coming from that realtor background, I kind of just want to talk about what kind of planted that seed in you all to get that going when you started here, because you didn't have the community, but you created one. So yeah.
Well, you want to hear the packaged up story, or you want the truth?
We
Because
want the
she's gonna
truth.
give you the packaged up
Okay,
story.
well, then
Nah,
you
I'm
give
gonna
us the
get
truth.
no.
Hey, go ahead and get the truth.
Go ahead.
No, so for relocating here, it was definitely more me spearheading us moving here. It's always been a dream of mine to relocate to Las Vegas.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
And
Okay.
it
When we
wasn't-
met,
yeah,
that was
so
like our
always-
second
But had you
conversation.
been in Vegas a lot, or what was
Never
that about?
physically been here at
never
all.
set foot.
Yeah,
It
Never
was
set
God.
foot.
It had to be.
And I was like, oh, okay, good luck with that. Right. Because I was like,
Nobody's
no,
going to Vegas.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's always kind of been a dream of mine to relocate to Las Vegas. I have been doing my research, read up about Las Vegas, read about the real estate market. You know, people moving here, a lot of the population increasing and things like that.
Yeah.
And we came out here for the first time in 2009, our like 1 year marriage anniversary.
Wow.
And you know how like sometimes when you go on vacation or you go somewhere, it's like, oh, this is cool, but I wouldn't live here. It's like, that's cool, I'm on
Right, right,
vacation.
right.
That's me.
That's you?
When I went to Vegas, I was like, we're not living here.
But see, I felt the exact opposite when I
He was like,
Me
let's
too.
get off the
Actually
strip. He
came
was
here?
like talking to realtors, like,
I already had realtors lined
Looking
up.
at
He showed us. We
neighborhoods.
came out here to chill for our anniversary. We went to
was on a
Summerlin.
work
Henderson
mission.
had a realtor taking us all around.
Y'all going around looking at
But
neighborhoods.
down
it felt
the
like home. It felt like somewhere I really wanted to be.
Wow.
And so we made a plan to relocate here.
Yeah.
I was like, "You sure you like this? Don't play with me, Dad. Like,
Right.
Don't play with
I'm
me."
out.
Don't let,
I'm
don't
out
let
now.
me get us here. You leave.
Yeah. So we developed a plan to move out here at that time within a year.
Okay.
And then we was like, maybe we wait till the
Kids
kids
little.
a little bit
They were
older
little.
Gotcha.
and
Yeah.
things
Yeah.
like that. And then so we tried to make the best of where we came from, Cincinnati, and we started coming out once a year. Then we started coming out twice a year. Then we started coming out 3 times a year. And just kind of a perfect storm of events happened to where we was like, well, if we got to start over, if we got to, you know, do things differently with business, I want to do it in a new city where I really want to be. So,
Gotcha.
you know, we prayed about it, talked about it, we made the decision to move. And as entrepreneurs, that's just what we're used to. We're used to taking a risk, and we used to not having a lot of things to put our feet on, nothing to hang our hat on. So wherever we land, we just get to work. So if we see an issue or if we see a challenge, like you didn't see Black community in Henderson,
you saw a need.
so we saw a need and we just kind of jumped on it and got to it. And also it was a great opportunity because, you know, it's not just, we started Black Henderson. It was a need for us because we knew 2 people when we first moved out here.
Yeah.
So
Gotcha.
we didn't have a whole bunch of friends. We didn't have a community. And so we started off as a need, and you kind of
needed friends.
Yeah, we needed friends.
Yes.
There you go.
really
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what happened.
Yeah, we needed to
needed
know where to
friends.
go to get your hair cut.
Haircuts,
Or,
yeah,
you know, get
like-
your hair done.
That's true,
or,
yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
things
just
like
all,
that.
and what the experience is as a Black person out here, like in Henderson. So we that's how we started it.
Yeah, that's basically how we started. We started out of the needs that we had, the challenges that we had. Where do you go to get your plates registered and things like that? Yeah. And so we started Black Henderson as a resource to people that move here, that with no friends, don't know what to do and how not to get connected.
Your story is eerily similar to ours, okay?
Really?
Because when we moved here, he spearheaded that, and I was like done. I was done. Like every day I was crying because it was me, my mom, my dad, and my brother. So long story short, my best friend, her sister was stationed at Nellis. Okay. So from college, we came here to visit. She ended up getting pregnant over the summer. I went back home and she calls and she's like, girl, I'm pregnant. I got to stay here. And I was like, what? Wow.
Yeah.
And so she's here. And so she ends up having my goddaughter and I fly down to see her. Well, when I came to see her, he was like, dang, you're always going to Vegas. I've never been, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I had come a few times. And he was like, I've never been. You've never, why haven't you invited me? Blah, blah, blah. Right. So we're living together at this point. We're not, we might have been engaged. I feel like we were engaged. Okay, so we had been engaged a year because it was about
February,
January-ish when I came because her birthday's in January. No, her birthday's in April. Anyways, I came in January.
Okay.
So then I came back and he was like, I want to go. Book a flight. I'm going with you. And we came for Valentine's Day. And
I just got off the plane.
You fell in love with Vegas?
I did. Yeah.
Wow. He saw the lights and he was like, do you see all
trees.
this opportunity?
Yeah.
When I tell you, that was Jameen. Like, because sometimes he would come without us. Like, I would send him there. And so he FaceTiming. Babe, look at this.
I said, we're moving to Henderson.
That's real nice.
Right here in this little area called Anthem.
That's nice.
That's exactly. I FaceTimed. I said, I found it.
Oh, my goodness. He on some cliff. Trying to show me on FaceTime. You know, FaceTime wasn't that good.
Right. It was grainy, AOL dial-up. Like, what is that?
That's real.
Let me tell you.
Baby, can you see?
Yeah. I'm like,
Trey literally had us move in 3 months.
Yeah.
And when I told my parents, they were like, this is going to be good for you guys. My parents were on board, and I was just like bawling every day. And he was like, are you good? And I was like, leaving my parents is insane. And so they pushed and they encouraged, and he was like, so you're going to be my wife. You're going where I go. And I was like, all right. And we came, and slowly but surely, I saw the opportunity. I saw the growth and the expansion that Vegas proposed. And we knew that we had the work ethic and the willpower to create something great for.
Now look at you now, mogul, taking over the whole event space. And just think, you were crying about coming here at one time.
Exactly.
Podcast.
Physical tears.
Yeah, but it was a switch like that. And I'm the type of person, if we decide we're gonna do something, ain't no more measuring.
Right.
We cutting. Let's go.
Yeah, we gotta go.
Yeah.
She kicked me out here.
I did. Because I said, what is your drop dead date?
Yeah. Like,
he's like, well, I'm
excited about
I could do this. I could do that. No, because it's either right after the kids get out of school or before they get in school. That is our window.
That is the window.
So we have to move. And it was, he's like, well, I could leave on my birthday. I said, okay, that's your date. And he was like, are you serious?
I think I came right out here around
I was
my birthday.
packing his stuff up the day before his birthday. Go. Pack the little truck. We had a truck up at the time. I packed his stuff up. I was like, okay, go. And we had a 4-bedroom house back at home.
Yeah.
I packed that entire house up all by myself. He was out here for 3 months. Before we came out.
Wow.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Sent me on the road with some Twizzlers and some iced tea.
I did. Gave me a little envelope, a little money in there. I said, here.
Yeah, I drove out here by myself in my Chevy Silverado pickup truck.
Man.
3-day tour.
But you talk about, because like there are so many times where you can be like, oh, never mind, I don't think this is
absolutely
true.
Oh, no,
Correct.
Absolutely.
So you just have to say, okay, we've made the decision. We're moving forward. Let's go.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I think that was one of the. That's our opposites,
Yeah.
Because he'll be like, okay, let me measure a little bit more.
Yeah.
I'm like, we done measuring.
Yeah.
Now I might have cut a little too much, but there's always duct tape, and that's all right.
Exactly. That's it.
I measured 6 times.
Like,
she half look at it and
That's
That's me.
I will eyeball that stuff.
That's me.
That's it. Yeah, I'm done.
She love the eyeball something.
That's it.
And I'm right most of the time.
Hey, most of the time. If not, there's always duct tape.
It's always duct tape. I love that.
So yeah, it's a very, very similar
That's
story.
so cool.
Yeah, coming out here. So you guys started the Black Henderson.
Yes.
Out of the need, which is funny because that was when we first came in 2008. We ended up going back because we did have a culture shock. Because coming from Atlanta,
It was a need.
we was man, where's the daggone black people that's, that's not.
That probably was a big culture shock coming from Atlanta.
I didn't
Yeah.
see
I
black
was like,
people. I was
wait,
like,
what?
what?
So of course we went
It
back.
was like they on D Street. I was like, no.
Yeah.
Shout out to
that
Historic
over there.
West Side. Okay.
Yes. So of course we end up the economy kind of went down, and the company I was working with at the time, they end up doing some layoff because I was like the only sales rep that was out here in Vegas.
Okay.
And we ended up going back. So when we went back, probably a year and a half.
Year at the most, because
We
I
was
had my daughter then.
Nope, gotta go back. I was like,
And he moved ahead of us, so it was a few
So
months.
the second time, I went
and
back.
then I came with the baby.
Yeah,
Wow.
and we just stuck it out ever since then.
Yeah.
But like
It's
you
been a
saying, it was
blessing.
definitely needed.
Yeah.
To have that cultural space out here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
congrats on that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now you guys also do real estate together
Yes.
too as well.
Yeah.
So kind of explain the dynamic in that, because I know one is
Nikki.
Yeah.
yeah, I like hearing the dynamics of that.
Okay. So the way our business works is I handle the sales side. So
Okay.
Anybody that wants to buy or sell, I will handle that part, more like the personal purchases.
Okay.
And then Jameen handles the investment side. So people that come to us and want to invest, things like that, he will take care of that side.
Okay.
And then we also have our investment firm where we do our own flips and other things like that.
Okay.
He also handles the property management side. So how I even got into real estate, because I originally had a totally different business.
Yeah.
Before us jumping into real estate, I was his transaction coordinator, which was quite interesting.
Transaction coordinator.
Yes, I was
For real estate?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So any
Does every
I never
realtor
heard
have
of
to
that.
have that?
you don't have to, but it helps you become more efficient because
Okay.
he can, do the sales, he can be out in the field, and then I'm putting together the contracts. And
Gotcha, okay.
making
Makes it
sure
more
we're getting
quick.
to and then
Absolutely.
making sure we're getting to the closing
Transaction
table.
coordinator. I
So
like that.
during that, I came on during the crash of 2009.
Yeah.
Oh.
The biggest recession.
Quite
Okay.
interesting. I knew nothing about real estate at that time. Which
Wow.
was, that was crazy.
So
'cause
know
I'm-
y'all survived that.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yes. Yeah. We were a year in our marriage.
Mm-hmm.
I was working in corporate America, doing quite well.
What were
I
you
hated
doing?
my job.
What were you doing?
I was in aviation. I was a
Oh.
planner in aviation. So
Oh wow.
parts for, engines and things like that. We order those parts and do all the logistics for that. So
Okay.
yeah, I hated it. It was a desk job. I absolutely hated it. And so it was one of those, I was young, I'm like, my husband, I felt like Rochelle on Everybody Hates Chris. My husband
Yeah.
got 2 jobs. I don't
Okay.
need this.
Right.
Boy, was I wrong.
Right.
So
Came
I
crashing
came crash. We were, I left my job. This was all in August, our first year anniversary. Within 30 days, I had left my job. His aunt got in a terrible car accident, passed away.
I'm sorry.
My parents separated, filed for divorce.
Oh no.
And we were celebrating our 1-year anniversary.
Wow.
And that was
Whoa.
when we decided, you know what, we're going to go to Las Vegas.
We took what we call an effort trip.
We said,
Okay.
yep, this was our
Go to
effing
Las
trip.
Vegas.
Came back
Wow.
and I started my company, but I said we were after a few months, I started my company called Party Sitters, which was an on-site event childcare company. We would have been best friends back in the day.
Yes,
Right.
girl.
Because event planners
Yeah,
and
they need
event
your
staff-
services.
Yes, indeed. And so
Yes.
those were all of my clients back then. But I was his transaction coordinator as
Okay.
well. And so I wasn't client facing like that. He was still client facing. And yeah, we're total opposites in that way too.
Yeah.
I'm very like, and my husband's very chill and subdued. But I did that for 10 years. and then I got my license out here.
Wow.
Okay. You got your license here.
Yes,
Didn't know
here.
that. Okay.
So with all that information, it was just like, okay, this is what what we're going to tackle together.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was how we decided that the real estate industry was what we were going to tackle together.
I feel like there's like a special blessing on marriages in that space of cultivating an entrepreneurial
Partnership.
Partnership. I do. I think that obviously it's not for everyone. Let me be clear. Like just because you're married don't mean that you should be in business together. But I think that it's so funny when you look back. I feel like you can see the breadcrumbs that lead you to where you are because like you're saying, you were his transaction coordinator and you knew the business. You didn't really want to do a whole lot with it.
Right.
You had your own thing going on. But like similarly with us, we just look back and we're like, how could we not know that this is what we always would end up doing together?
Yeah.
You know, so I think it's beautiful just to see how God blesses that when you go in, you try to do it the right way, have the communication and put the foundation in place.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, because you all do have, you're more client facing and he is more, you have clients on the investment part, but you don't have to deal with the public at large. So in that, how did you guys determine what the roles would be? Like, did you ever have any reluctance to kind of take a step back since you were the realtor initially, or?
It was kind of a blessing and a curse because it freed me up a lot to focus more on investing when she got her real estate license. And when she got her real estate license, it allowed us to kind of diversify because at one time I was still the realtor doing investments and property management. And sometimes when you spread yourself too thin, something can kind of fall by the wayside. So I'm more passionate about investing. And so when she got her license, it was actually great because she's more of customer service based and great with working with people, and I can be more in the background and kind of analyze the numbers, looking at properties, looking at deals. So I kind of not fell out of love with. I never really liked being a realtor, even though I've been a realtor for 26 years. It was just kind of like a necessary evil. So I discovered like
he's more the numbers person.
Yeah, so I like investing.
So he didn't mind telling somebody like, that's a dumb decision if you're going to do X, Y, Z, versus if I say, are you sure that we've come to this conclusion? You know,
he's going to cut right to it.
Like, I'm just
this doesn't even make sense.
Dumb.
I'm looking at the paper. It's not right.
And, you know, I've been through the real estate crash, you know, so it's like, you know, I've been in real estate since I was 19 years old.
Yeah.
Wow.
So when the real estate market crashed, like you said, as an entrepreneur, I bootstrapping. You know what I mean? I didn't have a college degree. I've been a realtor since I was 19. So at 26, so at 26, I built up this business and real estate and stuff. And then when the crash happened, it just like I lost it all in 1 year.
You.
Everything.
You know, and when so that kind of took something out of me being a realtor. And then during that process of being a realtor, I found out that I was more passionate about investment. So real estate was like a necessary evil thing that I had to do. I love helping people accomplish a goal. You know, that's kind of like what I do now with like coaching and consulting and things like that. But as far as like customer service and being a people person, like
I love that.
Like biggest
like I love the social aspect of what I do.
And so it's like I can say, okay, I have this problem. I may like come up with the solution in the background, but to present it somebody in a way that they can digest it, she's the perfect person for that. So
yes, she is. Yes, she is.
And that brings me to my point that I love, like the fact that when people, you say opposite attract, right? And people always think opposites shouldn't attract. Y'all gotta have some commonality. Opposite far as in like qualities, right?
Yeah.
So like, you know, you're more laid back.
Okay.
You know, you're laid back. She's more front facing. That works, you know, so you guys have that balance. One person might be a spender where the other person is more of like the saver. You have that balance.
Right.
You know, so I always like to recognize, especially with talking with couples, I like to see the dynamics of how their personalities are. And they always opposite of each other.
It's true.
But it always work well together, you know?
Right.
So so that's even, of course, for us, how we are.
Yeah.
I'm more chill. My wife is out there.
I'm off the
All
chain.
out there.
I'm off the chain. No, but it works, and you can see where it works because I definitely think the element that you bring to you all's business and just the to your point, like digestible, like where it's like, okay, she's coming from this place. Whereas if you come in cutthroat, they're gonna be like, whoa,
you know. Now the investors love him.
Yeah.
They're like, just give me the real numbers. Like, I don't care.
Right.
They're
they ain't got time to do it.
They don't care about the
invested
hand holding
emotionally most of the time is the issue. But when somebody's purchasing a home, it's emotionally driven.
It's different.
Like, how do I feel when I walk in here? And do
That's what took me out. It's like, I don't
Yeah.
like the paint color. I'm like, this house is gonna be worth
$40,000
more as soon as you finish
change
the paint.
Right.
Yeah. So I get that. I get that. So what do you guys do when you are faced with challenges? How is that something that you guys work through? Because a big part of this platform that we're creating is really giving couples the tools. You know, it ain't easy.
Right.
It is not. No. And while we aligned and we in sync and opposites attract,
and everything is good.
There definitely can be some issues.
Yeah. So how do you guys navigate through those tough seasons? Especially you guys are dealing with big dollars. Okay. So like I even feel like what we're doing compared to other entrepreneurs, like we have high ticket, but when you're talking about investment or somebody's future that we're looking at, how do you guys make the decision like
when things don't go well?
Man, learning how to respect those roles, like
the
and
roles.
not
respect,
not overstep boundaries. I tend to overstep sometimes.
Okay, be swerving.
I'm in your lane. I bought them some steel toe boots because of it. No, but truly learning to respect each other's roles. Learning that, okay, if this is the investment side of the business,
right,
I don't need to be, tap dancing, tiptoeing all the way over here.
It's hard when you got an opinion and you could see
I'm very opinionated. And sometimes I can see this is easy. I can just tell you, but did he ask for it?
No, because I hate unsolicited advice. I ain't asked for all that.
Did he ask for it? Sometimes he'd be like, and sometimes I might just need a listening ear or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
So we've learned to, we now can like joke about it, but we ask, okay, especially being married couples, who do you need in this moment?
Okay.
You
need a wife.
You need a friend. Do you need the CEO?
That's actually our major key.
Yeah.
When we have a discussion or a talk or something that we need to communicate, we actually stop and say, okay, wait a minute, who do you need in this conversation, in this moment?
I like that.
That's
you need just a husband?
That's so good.
Do you need the business partner?
Right.
Do you need
because when I need my husband, I'm gonna need you to coddle me.
That's right. I need to be held. Right. And same, like
he
might just he might just need, to put his head in my lap and me just like, stroke his back. Stroke his back a little bit. And so because the CEO side of me will be like, you did what?
Exactly.
Or why is this not done? Because I'm very like Spitfire, my business hat.
Yeah.
Sometimes I forget to take it off.
Yeah.
And so we've learned, especially probably more on my side. I've improved a lot, but more on my side, just learning how
to. You're talking to me, okay?
She's getting
I
better.
already know in the dynamic. It's probably not him that's the problem. It's probably me.
I know it. It's fine. I'm okay, and I'm okay. I'm improving.
Big personalities.
And
that's what you ladies have.
He's very gracious and he listens, and like for him, sometimes he needs a moment to think things through.
Yep.
Right.
Versus I'm like, well, let's make a decision now.
Me too.
Yeah, let's go.
Immediate.
Yeah.
What more do we got to think about?
Don't look at nothing. Don't think about it.
No, we're done.
Yeah.
We have enough. We got enough. Yeah. We got enough information. Let's make the decision. Let's go.
You know how that eyeballing with measuring, it's the same thing. Like, you ready to go?
Yeah.
That's
like,
it.
These are options. All right.
But it works.
Boom.
It works perfectly because even this was my dream.
Yeah.
And my dream is turned out to a reality. Like moving here has been one of the best decisions that we ever made. But had I not had the personality of my wife, bro, I still would have been saving money. I still would have been doing research.
Right.
Yeah.
I had made the decision like, no, babe, it's time to move. But she was like, when? I need a date. I need a deadline.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let me save X amount of dollars. So I'm more, once we have this amount of money,
More
it's like, no, we need a
conscious of
date.
it,
Because if you don't meet it, so what's the next deadline? So I think it works perfectly because she can make the decision without analyzing. Sometimes I can overanalyze, and sometimes she'll make a decision, snap, and I was like, no, we need to stop and think about this, so we both help each other out. Because whereas if I wasn't, if I wasn't in the picture, sometimes it would just be a lot of quick decisions being made.
We'd be all over the place.
And without her, we would still be
minimum decisions made.
So
right.
It's like the tortoise and the hare sometimes, but we both get to the finish line when we're supposed to get there.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
Drop the bar on us.
Just definitely just ask your partner, okay, before y'all engage,
Who do you need
in this
conversation?
In this conversation.
Yeah, that's good.
If you bring your wife hat and you actually there needs to be a decision made too,
right.
then I'm not serving him the way
he
really needs.
Yes.
Because you have to realize that in a marriage, couplepreneurs or marriage in a business, no matter if you're focusing on business right now, that's still your wife. That's still your husband.
Yep.
So you have to ask in this moment. Sometimes I may need my wife just for 30 minutes because I'm dealing with this particular situation or I have this particular stream of thought.
Yep.
And sometimes it's difficult to separate it. But if this is my wife and my business partner, so sometimes I need my wife. Sometimes I need my business partner. You know what I mean?
I always say, do not go into a couplepreneurship thinking if you don't have a healthy marriage. Work on that first.
Indeed.
Definitely work on that.
I don't care how great the business idea is. I don't care if the money is there at the door. Do not pass go.
Yes.
100%.
Without your marriage being intact, because at the end of the day, that's always going to be our priority.
That's
you know,
it. If the business falls,
if the market crash, if the events stop, if whatever the case is, like it's always going to be me and you that can put our heads back together and say, okay, how are we going to pivot now? What are we going to do next?
Right.
Yeah.
We can do it. Like, you know, and it don't matter what it is.
Yeah.
But
you can always start another business.
That's it.
Right.
But I don't,
You can start another marriage, but I
don't
don't really want that. Right?
It just ain't gonna be with me.
That's it. I need.
listen, no, that is so true.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, that's
Y'all
good.
are ridiculous. No, but so okay.
But so question I wanted to ask you guys, because you guys do have kids,
Yes.
and your kids are various ages.
Yeah, we're a blended family.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
How do you guys teach business to them and incorporate that into what it is that you guys are building so far? What have you guys done? How do you incorporate your children?
So it's interesting because everybody is on a different level.
Yeah.
Right.
And some of our children, we've got 3 total.
Yeah.
So our oldest is 22.
Mm-hmm.
Then our daughter Nia, she's going to be 21.
Oh my Lord.
Oh, in a month. Lord help us.
21.
Yes. And then our baby boy Jonathan that we have together.
Yeah.
He just turned 14. So I think, for us being a blended family and our kids just, our oldest 2, because Josh is his and then Nia is mine. So our oldest 2 just, one was either with one parent or the other, the whole 9 yards. And I kind of make fun that none of our kids have the same parents. He don't like that joke, but I think it's funny.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, but so my daughter, I've always been very business minded with her. Yeah, probably to a fault, because I'm just like, baby girl, like you gotta got me in you. So yeah, you gotta understand.
You to pull that about
baby girl's been working since she was 13 and like understanding business concepts and logistics, and I'm always for both of them, or for all 3 of them, we're always trying to figure out what are you passionate about.
Right.
Our kids are blessed,
for them
still
to do
giving them room, but also helping them understand and be financially literate.
Yes.
More than anything, we are, because we've learned so much. And God bless our parents. They were like, okay, save, which is great, but nobody talked about investing. Nobody talked about that next step, right? Where how you grow the money, right? Yes. And so I've been very diligent, especially for our baby boy Jonathan, teaching him about when you work, you are to give a 10th, you are to save 10%, And then you are to invest 20%. So of everything he makes, he has to break that thing down. And he's been doing that since he started working little things around the house.
Gotcha. Okay.
Since he was about 11, he would whine and cry because you didn't make $10 and now you only got $6 to spend.
Right.
He is like, oh.
Right.
But now, since he's 14, that thing's super easy.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, Mom, I made $100. So 10 goes here, another 10 goes here, and 20 goes here for my investments. I'm like, okay, cool. And so that is just, I mean, building. Oh yeah, he knows it. And then with Nia and with our older two, they know it too. I started a little bit later with them.
Yeah.
Right.
And so now I'm with Jonathan, I'm teaching him more investments. All right, so check these stocks out. All right, now look at these dividends. You know, what investments have better dividends, and he's starting to look at that kind of stuff.
Okay.
I love
and so it's
to
really
see
teaching
that.
them about more
Especially
so financial
in a Black
literacy.
household.
Yeah,
because I never learned about investing.
Many of us
Outside
did.
of, you know, my parents did have homes that they owned growing up, and you know, in cities like Detroit or Cincinnati, you can get a house for $6,000.
Yeah, right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
20 grand, you be good.
Exactly.
Good to go, right.
So yeah, you it's flipped at 20 grand.
That's right.
We flipped it a few times.
That's it.
But no, so you know, being able to see how you're pouring your legacy into them.
Yeah.
And they
And
come with
not-
us to different things
Right,
too.
just to see and just to observe and see.
And that's
what
what I
it
like
is.
about y'all, because we see your kids
Yes.
setting up, doing it, you know, being client facing, all kinds of stuff. I love it.
Similarly, we're in a blended family. You know, we have 4 boys that are not biologically mine, and we've raised 3 of those boys in our house, and then we have the daughters that we do share together. But I think the hardest part is that when they are older and you see them. And I try to reshift my mind frame of not necessarily being disappointed, because my son works at a job, and I'm like, why? Like, why would you?
I know,
do
definitely know what
that?
you're talking about.
Yeah.
So
You
that was kind of my point of bringing it up, because it's like you have something going and you want to teach your kids and you want them, you want to pass along, or even for them to find that entrepreneur
Just to
spirit
adopt
in
the
themselves.
mindset.
Yeah,
Like,
and
you ain't got to be an event planner.
But you got to have grace because
Yes. You do.
sometimes it's like, okay, you weren't doing this when you were 14, whether you was exposed to it or not. So you got to leave a little bit of grace. And the same thing is, it can be a blessing to grow up in a family where they do have a family business where you can work. But what if they have zero interest in it, or they not good at it? You know what I mean? So now you're trying to force your child to do something
We see
that
it.
they're not good at.
Yeah,
they don't want to do.
This
You know what I
on
mean?
this conglomerate to your child.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. But it's like, why you want to go work for this place when
I
you
just
can
want you to
work
be
for the
financial
family
literate.
business? You know, I've been
Right.
through that. I've been through that experience too. But you do have to be mindful. Is this what they're good at?
Yeah, because this is my dream. It isn't theirs. And to your point, I have to
But
constantly.
the option is still over here.
It's still over here, because baby, we still broke.
But I mean, I'll tell my kids, like, you couldn't work for me like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will fire you in a minute. In a minute. That's why they be going to dead most of the time asking for something to do, because
that's him. He's the softy.
I want excellence.
Yeah, I'm going to drive
fire
you, baby. I'm going to ride you like a horse.
That's it.
But
So
you
will be
good
taken.
because when you go work for somebody else, you don't have that family relationship,
Right.
and there's not that family buffer, grace, and things
No.
like that. So I think sometimes it's good for them to go and work for some company, and then if you come, then you'll appreciate being
it,
part
yeah.
of.
I'm waiting on the
agree.
appreciation
It
factor.
could.
Well,
You gotta be
Still
patient.
waiting.
I'm waiting.
Yeah,
Still
like,
patient
think of
with
it.
it. It's my one son. I'm like, come on, baby, you can do it.
He'll come in the fold eventually
Yes,
once
he
he
will.
get out
He
there and
will.
be like, ugh.
But I'm like, it's so much opportunity. Whatever. I mean, and especially in the event world, it's in any industry.
Yeah.
In the industry.
Right.
It's a tree with many branches.
That's
like,
right.
What
Like
you
saying
can
with real
find
estate,
something.
Real
There's
estate,
so
yeah.
many
Find
things.
a lane over here.
You
It's a
can
spot
find a
for you
lane. It's
somewhere.
a spot for you.
Yeah.
So,
It
you
is.
know.
But I just want them, because I don't want, if we are to ever give you something, hand off this business, and you squander that,
Baby. Baby.
I mean, where's the camera?
Okay, look at the
here.
camera. There's your camera.
Yeah. I'm telling you. If you squander that, I'm telling you,
Mama gonna put the
if I'm
pause
dead
on
and
you.
gone, I'm coming back.
I'm coming back.
I'm coming back for
Out
you.
that gray.
Yes.
But yeah, so that's my whole thing. Like, be financially literate, and like these kids are blessed because they did not have to go through what we.
No,
not at all. Right.
No.
Right.
They'd be like, "Well, the internet's down."
Right.
I'm like, "Oh my!" Like, get out of
Everything
here.
You
with
wasn't
the
dealing with
internet.
dial-up.
Okay.
I keep talking about dial-up. I don't know why.
Listen.
But yeah,
Uber Eats, boil you a hot dog.
Exactly.
That's how I grew up.
Okay.
Uber
Boil
Eats,
you.
boil
Right.
you a hot
Uber
dog.
Eats arriving at 1 a.m. Who
1 a.m.
ordered? I'm over here reporting my card is fraud. And it's you.
They eating good. They eating good. Lord have mercy. So
Remember that one time Jonathan kept ordering something on pay-per-view and I was just paying the bill. I thought the bill
No.
was
he had
WWE.
ordered. He was. This was just when he was starting to read. He's about 5, and he didn't know the word purchase.
Oh.
And so, because
He
we was
like,
like,
this
if
button
it
right
has
here.
a dollar,
Found out.
so I said, if it has a dollar sign on it, you can't press it. Okay. And at the time, if it had dollar signs on it, so he said
Dang.
it didn't have a dollar sign. This boy had rung up $700
No.
of WWE pay-per-view and like SpongeBob movie or something. It was like.
It was the same thing over
And
and
I
over.
was like, boy, he was like, it didn't have a dollar sign. And I looked and it actually did.
It
So I
did.
called them up. I was like, it didn't have a dollar sign. They was like, ma'am. I was like,
It said
my
bye.
6-year-old just bought that.
Okay.
So
wow.
we got some
That's
of them
funny.
taken off. But
Oh my goodness.
That's
Girl.
good.
Girl.
These first
the
world
children.
issues with
The
these kids.
first world issues. It's real.
But I'm blessed. We blessed.
Yeah.
We blessed. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah.
Truly.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree.
So what's next for you guys? What is the next thing on the horizon? I know you got the book
Yeah.
coming out.
Books. One
Books.
is
That's
out.
what I say. Books.
Yeah, we got more
But what's
coming.
next for the investment, Lavender Homes, the Willis Team, Black Henderson? What else we got? Going
Well, I see a show in the future.
on? Okay. What kind of
We'll
show?
see what happens.
Real estate show.
We'll see what happens.
They got so
'cause-
many.
I know.
Yeah,
Different
we got
lanes
so
they
many
can jump
things,
into.
but
Yeah.
I would like to do like a show with me and him because
Okay.
I think it would be fun.
Yeah.
He don't let me touch nothing, but
If it make dollars, it makes sense.
that's
There
his
you
whole
go.
That's
thing.
it.
If
That's
it makes
it.
dollars, it makes sense. I'm still, I've gotten into pageantry lately.
Yes.
So, and he is a huge supporter of that. So,
I just like the outfits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like my wife's the model. What are we saying?
Don't
Duh.
Right.
Yeah.
so with that, definitely just getting his book out and, watching the mind rehab movement develop
Yes.
and
Yes.
take off. And then, with Black Henderson, to me, just continuing to create these strategic partnerships around the community and serving the
Yes.
community, being a resource
It's amazing what you all do
to
with
the
the
community.
business
Thank
and the
you.
community. Seriously.
It's with anything, there are some challenges and things like that. But when you see people say like, I moved here because of Black Henderson,
Yeah.
or they actually they didn't think that Black people lived in Henderson
Right,
until
right.
they saw.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's really the impact that you all have across your businesses, across your community. And really quick, not to pause this question, but kind of, because I thought about it as we were talking about the many things that you guys have going. I do want to know, and I do want you guys to help some other people navigating this with so many ventures and businesses and all the things that you guys are doing, and they're great things and the impact is there. How do you guys make sure that you prioritize time for one another?
Quality time.
Quality time.
Shout out to y'all for coming to date night.
Hey,
Yeah.
Yes.
things like that.
Yeah.
But I'll let you take it.
Professional advice. I think one of the things that we've improved on a lot recently is really taking time out for each other and taking time out for our marriage, because you realize, like, if you take away the couple, then a lot of
Right.
the businesses are gone. And at the end of the day, you look at the success rate of businesses. A lot of businesses fail. So you want to be so focused on business, work, achievements, and then you come back home and your house is not a home. So I think, we've been more attentionate about going on date nights, finding resources like the things that you guys do and other people do throughout the city, And it's just that you have to make it a priority, because there's always something that could fill up a time spot.
Yeah.
Especially in the real estate business, you can never not be. It's always something you could be doing.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
So you have to
Yeah.
make it a priority, because if you don't, then it's always going to be something to do, especially with real estate. I mean, that's what we do. But in business in general, if you don't prioritize that time, it's always going to be something that's going to swallow up or fill that space up.
And we like each
Thank
other
you
too.
for that, girl.
Like you
Yeah,
know,
we
you
have
like
fun
That's
we
so
have fun
big.
together.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we, some people are like, oh, your spouse shouldn't be your best friend and everything like that. I
Girl,
get it,
seriously.
but listen,
It's not that
this
you don't
is
need
my best-
outside community.
Exactly.
But, like,
and I
be
got my
serious.
girlfriends, but like this is my best
Yeah,
friend.
this is my
so
person. We could roll.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
We
Like
could
I don't. I got my girls and all that stuff, and we got our like our couple friends and things
Yeah.
like that. But it's him all day.
I just want to tell y'all, me and Nikki went to
Where'd y'all
I
go?
got in
still not
trouble.
over it. We got in trouble.
We got in
was out
trouble.
for 6
We
hours.
were, it was supposed to be brunch.
Hours.
Yeah, y'all might need to be.
And then it was supposed to be a little
Lost-
dinner.
lost in the
They
song.
definitely need
I
chaperones.
think, but we
Need
gonna
to
have
be
to run that
double
back.
date.
I'm
It's
just like you know that now.
well, we just be having stuff to
dates.
talk about.
We really do.
Which is
We
good.
really do.
It's
And
just
some
we was
couples-
together. We can't
Some
help
couples
it.
don't
Same
have
spot,
fun
hours.
unless they with another couple or a
Yes.
group. So if you
Very
get
true.
together and it's like awkward, that let you know you got
Yeah.
some things.
But you know
probably
what?
need
Shout out to Dr. Jade.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
I
what
don't know
I'm
if y'all
saying,
have
professional
had
advice.
her and her husband Carlos on yet, but they because I was just like, man, well, like she's my doctor too.
Yeah.
And I said, man, like we're just so busy. She said, my husband and I have a challenge, and every week we have to have a date night, and we switch off every other week of who's
Okay.
gonna plan it.
Who's planning it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was like, so I'm gonna challenge you, sis. I'm gonna challenge you to do the same thing. And I was like, okay. And so I brought it to Jay, and that really just like woke things up. Like we
Yeah.
were like,
I
this is fun.
love
This is
that.
cool. And sometimes you really do have to be intentional. There's no magic wand.
No.
There's
Yeah.
no, well, I'm gonna sit and wait it out. No.
Right.
You really got to be intentional
Yeah, you
about
got to.
spending time together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to
do.
give your marriage permission, because I was like, when she told me that, it felt good, but I was like, that's okay to go on a date night every week. Like
Right.
that's
Right.
okay.
You really
He
have to.
said,
Yeah.
give your marriage permission.
Yeah.
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 I like
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Such a
Good
gem. Good stuff. Wait, but I want to hear Jameen, since I boldly interrupted the question. I do apologize to you all and the viewers, but
you good.
tell us what's next for you. We know you got the book, but what's happening?
You know, for me, like I've been in real estate, like I told you earlier, since I was 19, and like right in the middle of that, like when the real estate market crashed, I developed or I rediscovered myself. So I have a passion for writing and personal development and helping people discover what they're good at, what their dreams are. So for me, I'm really locked in and focused on personal development. So my book, coaching. So I'm all about personal development, and I really have a heart and a passion for men.
Yeah.
And so my language, the way that I talk, I can relate to men. And so for me, I'm doing my group coaching, I'm doing individual coaching, I'm focusing on my books. Because that's one of the things that I've been wanting to do for a really long time, but because real estate made the money, or it was a responsible thing, or it was a thing that I had experience in, I kind of put it on the back burner, and I said, I'm going to keep sharpening. I'm going to do that later on. So I'm prioritizing that. And with me prioritizing that, I'm prioritizing myself. And so when I'm happy personally, I'm a better husband, I'm a better father, I'm a better
Absolutely.
leader. And so that's really what's next for me and what I'm focusing on. Yeah.
Good.
That's beautiful.
Good stuff.
Any closing words, baby? I mean, that
Closing
was really
words. Yeah, no, they said a lot of great things. I think the main thing for me in the whole conversation, of course, is the teamwork, knowing your partner, knowing the roles. But I definitely think taking the time out for yourself is very important, right? You know, especially with being in business, working with your partner, you spend a lot of time together. And while that is amazing and you enjoy it, but at the same time, we still are our own individual selves.
Yeah.
So we definitely got to make sure that we still take that time to, you know, spend time for ourselves and rediscover different things
baby.
that we like.
He said he
not
gives
so much for
marriage
you ladies.
permission.
Let me say
no, this
more
is
for the
you.
men. This is
You need the permission to do to he does really to like explore himself.
And I think it's even more important with marriages and couples that are in business, because when you work together, you're with your wife.
Right.
Yeah.
And women, for whatever reason, don't have as much of a challenge with prioritizing themselves. Like, we're going to have a girls' night. I'm going to do this for me. You said, I'm going to make sure.
Well, because women are social.
We're social people.
Yeah.
They have not lost that component. Like, we understand that I have my family, I have my husband, but I need some other outlets. And I think that men feel guilty for that.
Correct.
Yep.
They desire it and then don't know how to go achieve it.
How to go and get it.
Yeah.
That's what the Mind Rehab is about. Coaching, the books and everything, because it's super important. Because, okay, just think it, if you weren't a married couple working together, you would at least have your job to where you would go to yourself. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's even more of a thing that you have to place as a priority
100%.
because you don't have as many outlets.
That's why this community is even needed, because to your point earlier when you spoke about the failure rate of business and the failure rate of marriage, and then you combine those, it's even more detrimental that you do have the resources, that you do have the community, and that you can see people that has successfully made it work, because it's not a magic wand. It's not this thing that you can just wish and I'm going to manifest it and all of this stuff. But you actually have to be intentional. You got to make it work. There are processes. There are steps. You got to have a foundation. There has to be roles.
You got to have a mindset.
Communication.
Mindset.
It's so much behind it. And that's why I like speaking to different couples in different industries, because maybe something that you said will be the difference for us or for another couple as it was introduced to you, as you guys came together and said, this is what we're going to need. Yeah. And so, our priority is always the marriage. And even for other people, letting them know, whether they're in a business or not, like, there are so many outside distractions that we can lean into instead of focusing on what would be the most intimate and hopefully the most fulfilling relationship that you'll ever have. To pour into that, it's a total game changer. So
100%.
I always am a champion for that. But
absolutely,
I'm gonna close it here. Okay. I'm so thankful that you guys came today.
Yes, thank you guys for coming on.
You guys were excellent. For sure. Please show your book one more time.
Oh, yes. Y'all go get it before you buy Read This. You can get it before you buy readthis.com or the WillisTeamLV.com.
Yes.
So you can get it.
And so, as I always close, building business is one thing, but building with your partner is next level. You guys really enlightened us today. You gave us a lot of gems and insight for other couples to lean on. Me and Trey are definitely going to implement. We appreciate you guys for sharing you all's story. And to everybody that is tuning in, especially couples on this journey together, keep communicating, keep growing, and most importantly, keep building your legacy as a team, because at the end of the day, it's all about love and money, okay? If you guys know a couple who's doing the same thing, they're doing it together, I want you guys to have them reach out to us at loveandmoneycouplepreneurs@gmail.com. Follow us at Love and Money Couples. Please follow our wonderful, wonderful guests here today, and we will see you all next time. Peace.
Peace.